He stumbled, but he didn't fall yet. He continued to walk for a few feet before tripping and falling over. He got up, and a groan escaped his cold lips. It didn't really hurt, per se. He was just frustrated. Where was I? How did he get here? Why was he only wearing one shoe? These thoughts rushed his mind as he looked up at the sky and saw it was nearing evening. Where did all the time go? He didn't know. He kept walking, trying to find his way home, trying to remember what had happened. Was he still drunk? The last thing he remembered was going out with some friends and... What? I don't know. I don't remember. He saw a lady sitting at a park bench. He walked towards her. The lady on the bench was pretty, and when he walked up, she looked past him, but he continued walking in her direction. Hey, he tried to say, but only a groan escaped his lips. She looked up at him. He continually trying to talk without seeming like a fool or a simpleton, but all he could do was stutter. Tongue-tied, he just stopped with embarrassment. The woman just gave him a disgruntled growl, and he began to walk away. What had happened? The last thing he remembered, he was out with some friends, he thought that maybe, man, his family must be scared. His wife would probably be super angry that it had been gone so long without a call. He just needed a phone. He continued to talk to the girl, but the more he tried to talk, the more he fumbled his words. He only needed a phone if she had one, but eventually he decided to just keep pushing on. He was walking and walking, and he found it strange when he looked around that there was no vehicle traffic. There were a few cars parked here and there, and he could hear the distant whirling of sirens, but when he looked, all he could really see were people shuffling along aimlessly. He eventually, after walking, tripped as he realized he was on an interstate. Interstate, he thought. How odd. Anyway, he continued to walk, but he turned around to see what he had tripped over. He wasn't exactly sure what it was, but it was something mushy and red. It smelled delicious, and he was very hungry. He scooped up a bit and took a bite. It was delicious. A food truck accident, he thought? Maybe. He continued to walk home. Home. I want to go home. Hungry. Home. Wife, home, children, hungry. So hungry. So tired. Rest. No, rest when I get there. Hungry. Home. More people seemed to gather around him as he shuffled. But despite whatever he said, they seemed to just ignore him. Eventually it reached the point where he just returned the favor. Home. His thoughts that used to be complex were now reduced to just images. His last complex thought was trying to remember what had happened. As he continued to walk, he got a little bit of complex thought back after he rested. Where am I? What exactly happened? The last thing I remember, I was out at the bar with the boys. I remember we were completely blitzed. I remember them chasing me as I tried to run away, only to hug a lamppost thinking it was my wife. What happened? He saw that he was nearing a freeway. I'm so tired. Hungry. Home. As he walked further, he saw a car heading his way. He stopped and he tried to flag it down, but could only limply swing his arms from side to side. The car tilted towards him, but didn't stop. Surprise quickly turned to anger when one of the headlights brushed him, hitting his shoulder, spinning him, landing face down in the ditch. As he looked up, he saw his arm was twisted in an unnatural way, clearly broken in several places, but it didn't hurt. Man, I must be blitzed, he thought. Eventually, he recognized the turnpike, nearing home. 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 Family. Hunger. Rest. Get there. Home. 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 As he walked, he realized that he was surrounded by people again. All of them shuffling and groaning, just like he was. As he continued to walk, he didn't even try to make conversation this time. He knew they would just ignore him, and he'd give them just the same treatment. As he walked, he recognized the old house from which he used to live. Excitedly, he stumbled towards it, eventually reaching the door. He banged on the door and, "Hey! Hey, I'm home! Let me in!" This is what he thought he was saying, but in reality it was just gargled moans and growls. He continued to try to speak as he banged and clawed at the door. He could hear a lot of crying and screaming coming from inside. He couldn't help but wonder what was going on. Was his family in trouble? As he banged on the door, eventually it opened, and he was met with a quick flash. He didn't realize it was the barrel of a shotgun pointed directly at his face, blowing his head clean off. "Quick, kids! Barricade the door! There'll be more soon!" "Mommy, it's Daddy. He's finally home. Mommy, we have to bury him." "That's not your father anymore, kids. That's not your dad. He died months ago." "But we haven't seen him since this started." "I told you! He died months ago. Come on. We'll bury him in the backyard, but quick, barricade the door. He wasn't alone. They're never alone. There will be more soon."